I don't know about you, but I love getting quick results where you make an effort for a very short amount of time and reap the rewards long after it's done. And that's exactly what you will get using this approach I'm about to cover. And this way of training will dramatically reduce the time it takes to complete a workout while providing exponential results in terms of weight loss and fat burning, and it's all backed by studies. So in this video I'll show you exactly what to do in order to burn belly fat insanely fast. So the major hormones responsible for burning fat is human growth hormone, glucagon and testosterone, with the main one being human growth hormone. And there are a few ways you can trigger it to burn fat at a pretty high rate, and also ways to trigger it to burn fat insanely fast, which I'll cover shortly. But all these hormones have one thing in common: they are all responsive to intense exercise. And when I say intense, I'm not talking about a traditional 45-minute jog in moderate tempo, which is what a lot of people use as a go-to workout. Now granted, steady-state cardio has some benefits of its own, but it's definitely not optimal for burning fat. And what is optimal for burning fat is high-intensity interval training, more known as HIIT. And one of the easiest ways of reaching success in anything is to study people who are successful and mimic what they do. So to illustrate the idea of why HIIT is so effective, let's compare a sprinter who uses a HIIT workout versus a marathon runner who relies on steady-state cardio. I'd say the large majority of people want a similar body type as a professional sprinter, absolutely ripped with a very low body fat percentage. So what you want to do is mimic the exercise of them, as their exercises differs drastically to a marathon runner who performs steady state. And marathon runners train in a continuous effort with very low intensity at a comfortable speed that will take a long time to complete and get tired from. Compare that to a sprinter who trains pretty much the opposite of a marathon runner: short bursts of all-out effort with high intensity, making them tired quickly. So what you want to do is push yourself to the absolute limit for about 15 to 20 seconds, short bursts of 100% all-out effort to really spike your heart rate, and then rest until you're able to do it again. And the resting period is not set in stone, but varies depending on how fit you are. A really fit person will recover faster and might not even need a full minute of rest, and most people needs at least 1 to 2 minutes of rest, but just try to get the heart rate down to under 130 beats per minute before you go at it again. Repeat this no more than 10 times and you're done. And working out with bursts of high intensity with short periods of rest has proven to be the most effective way to burn fat compared to any other forms of training, with one study reporting that a 4-minute HIIT session burned 9 times more fat than 30 to 45 minutes on a treadmill. And when I say bursts of high intensity, I mean you're fucking going at it with everything you have. And this is not a brisk jog in the park, but will make you start sweating heavily after only a few minutes doing it. And the heart can't provide enough oxygen fast enough to the muscles, which triggers a chain reaction of molecular responses in most organs of the body, and this is exactly what you're looking for. And the effectiveness of the HIIT workout doesn't stop until long after completion, as it would with steady-state cardio. This is due to something called EPOC, or excess post-exercise oxygen consumption. It will actually kick your metabolism into overdrive, which will allow you to keep burning fat throughout the day, and that 20-minute exercise will turn into a 24-hour fat burning session. But the benefits doesn't end there. HIIT workouts has been shown to increase production of human growth hormone up to 450%, which is fantastic since human growth hormone, as I mentioned before, is one of the major hormones responsible for fat burning, as well as building muscle, longevity and anti-aging. And the best HIIT exercises are the ones who incorporates the whole body, such as rowing machine, sprints, swimming, burpees and kettlebell swings. And even if you have a hard time working out, simply walking with higher intensity for a few seconds and then slowing down will have a much better effect than simply walking steady state style. And this can be especially applicable for older people or obese people that just want to start out somehow. So what I'm about to tell you now is the greatest way I've come across to burn fat at a ridiculously high rate, and of course it involves a HIIT workout. And you want to combine HIIT, which as I said increases growth hormone with 450%, with intermittent fasting, which is shown to increase growth hormone with up to 2000%. So when you haven't had a meal for at least 16 hours or preferably 20 to 24 hours, that's when you want to do a HIIT session for the best results. And on top of that, you want to perform it in cold exposure, such as in water when swimming. And the cold exposure and thermodynamics alone will have an impact on fat burning, And lastly, 30 minutes before you start the session, you want to take a fat burner that has green tea extract and or green coffee bean extract to really rev up and have an insane session of fat burning. And I recommend Old School Labs Vintage Burn because it contains both, and I'll leave a link for it below if you want to check it out. However, the body needs time to recover from this, and it's definitely not something you can do on a daily basis. Now, you can do however many HIIT sessions as you want over time and burn a lot of fat, but just know that nothing makes up for a shitty nutrition. Nutrition is the main factor that will determine if you will get rid of that belly fat or not, and this method will definitely speed that process up. Now, I'm not going to argue over which diet is better because the best diet is the one you can adhere to. However, one tip I can give you, which is basically the Pareto principle of nutrition and will take 20% effort and provide 80% results, is to simply avoid sugar and processed foods as much as possible. So that is how you can burn belly fat insanely fast, and as always I'll leave links to the references below if you want to check it out yourself, along with my video on cold exposure for weight loss. Hope you enjoyed it, leave a like if you did, leave a dislike if you thought it was shit, and I'll see you in the next one.